Meanwhile, we continue tracking the Gann fire in Calaveras County tonight. Firefighters are facing those flames with some of the highest temperatures of the year. And so I do want to bring in Peter now to talk about, first of all, is there any relief in sight? And also the fact that this is having a pretty big impact, especially when it comes to smoke across the region.
Yeah, we're going to see that smoke spread across the area tomorrow, and it also kind of involves the heat as well, because we're still dealing with the heat. We saw the hottest temperatures of the year yesterday. We have 4 more days of triple digits ahead in the forecast as we get through the weekend. So that smoke's going to linger because the high is not going to be moving and our temperatures are going to be hot. And you can see a couple other cameras here overlooking the fire right now. That Valley Springs camera kind of showing where that fire line is. You can see a little bit of it right there. And we're really going to continue to watch this fire as we get through the rest of the night because it's already at 6,500 acres. Around this time yesterday, it was right around 300 acres when we're on air talking about it. That kind of puts into perspective how quickly this fire has grown. And a big reason why is it's in an area where we haven't really seen a whole lot of fires over the last 5-10 years. There was the Walker fire in 2020, but beyond that, really over the last 40-50 years, there hasn't been a lot of fires where we're seeing this fire currently going on. So that means that brush, those fuels, those trees, those are ready to burn. And that's kind of what's been the scenario here. Here again, here's just a reminder of those evacuation order zones and the evacuation warning zones. If you do need to evacuate, Valley Springs at their Veterans Hall is where the evacuation center is. That's where you should be evacuating to. Now notice when it comes to where those warnings are, those are on the east side of the highways. The west side is where we're seeing those evacuation orders. And it's a good reminder of evacuation warnings versus orders. Now, there's potential threat to life and property with evacuation warnings. And if you are someone who has medical devices that are difficult to move or you need extra time to evacuate, you should probably be heading out during an evacuation warning. So you have a large family, you have pets or livestock, that's when you should leave if you have that evacuation warning. Now, when it comes to an evacuation order, that's an immediate threat to life and property. That means go now. Make sure you have your go bag ready, your 5-piece packed in that bag. It's a lawful order where you have to leave when you have that evacuation order. Temperatures right now luckily are dropping. That means humidity is getting better for those near Angels Camp. That's going to be good for crews trying to fight the fire overnight. But overnight, that smoke is still going to remain. And as we wake up on Wednesday morning, in the foothills especially, as you start to get into the higher elevations, you're going to be seeing some hazy skies. And that continues as we get overnight Wednesday into Thursday as well. All that smoke from this fire, we really just continue to see that sinking air from this area of high pressure. And it's going to just move closer to us as we get towards the end of the week, which means more sinking air and more heat, which means more elevated fire risk. Another chance for these fuels just to continue to dry out even more than we're already seeing. So keep that in mind. As we get later into the week, we do have high fire danger here throughout Northern California. Overnight tonight, it's going to be relatively warm, but not as warm. We're looking at lows right around the 60-degree mark, a little bit more relief than we've been seeing the past few days. And we're looking at forecast highs on Wednesday, right around the upper 90s to low 100s. And for this next weekend, the hundreds are returning to the forecast. We had a hot weekend last weekend. We have it again coming up here. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all days into the triple digits, into the 90s in the high country as we head in towards the weekend. The foothills right around that 100-degree mark here as well. Again, it's going to be dry. You're going to see those dry fuels. That fire danger will remain as we get through the rest of the forecast, really into the weekend. As we get into next week, we finally start to see some relief on the way, a return to seasonal temperatures. But for now, Chris, that heat's going to remain. Crews are going to have to deal with the heat and that low relative humidity in the afternoon hours.
And with that very warm 102 on Saturday, something to keep in mind as people are making plans for the weekend.
Exactly. Make sure maybe not too long of an extended hike or something right like that, right? Maybe find some breaks in the shade.
Maybe catch a movie or something this weekend.
That's always a better idea, right?
Okay. All right, Peter, thank you.
Thank you.